Selling Online Today, featuring Mike from DaisyBabyShop.co.uk.
Don't be afraid of trying something, buying 5 or 10 and selling them and see how they go.
Making a great living by selling online is possible if you know who to turn to for help. Welcome to Selling Online Today, the show that features the winners of the online sales world sharing their stories of domination of eBay, Amazon, or their own sites. Here's your host, Patrick Conlin.
Hi everyone, and welcome to Selling Online Today, the show that brings you all you need to know to successfully sell online in today's changing environment. We specialise here at Selling Online at looking at sellers who use multi-channel that may sell their goods on Amazon, eBay and their website all at the same time and all linked up. So we're going to chat to someone who is on that journey right now. Mike, hi, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hi Patrick.
Mike runs a very successful business called DaisyBabyShop with his wife Zoe, and Mike used to have various other jobs in the past until he delved into this business around 3 years ago. Mike, I've just given a brief overview. Do you want to take it on and fill us in a bit more about what exactly you do?
Well, DaisyBabyShop is an online shop selling baby accessories. We've been going now just over 3 years. Started from scratch, and we now have about 1,300 products that we sell on our websites, Amazon and eBay. And this year are looking to sell about 50,000 items.
Wow, that's quite an amount. Did you start off with a large inventory, or is that something that's built up over time?
No, we started off with basically one product, and we built it up from that. Just retain every time we sold an item, we retained the profit and cash in our business and reinvested it in more stock. So literally, we started selling one item on eBay and progressed from there.
As you were saying before the show, Mike, you actually had a need yourself. You were looking for something for one of your daughters, isn't that right? And that really sparked it?
Yeah, when we had our second daughter, Dolly, my wife tried a number of different baby carriers and baby slings. They all cost us about £50 or £60, and she found one style, which was the style was called Mai Tai, that she liked really, and it was really comfortable for her and the baby. And we bought one from a company in Thailand called Pom Pond for our own use, and it cost us considerably less than the other ones that were available. And we liked it, and so we bought 10 and sold them on eBay, and that's how we started. So 10 Mai Tais, and then when we sold those, we bought 20, and then we bought 50, and that's how we actually started our business.
Yeah, Mike, it's so important. There's a general trend throughout everyone whom I'm interviewing that is successful now. They all started small. This idea that you have to buy in thousands of pounds worth of stock at the beginning, get your office all set up, spend tons of money on a website before you even have tested the market is ludicrous. But some business owners will fall into that trap because of any number of reasons and misconceptions. But all of the successful sellers that we are interviewing on this show, we find that they see something that's missing in the market because of a need of their own. They go out, they buy in a few to see how they go, and they take it from there. That's really important. Would you agree?
Absolutely right. You know, we didn't have any spare cash that we could put in and start up a business. So literally, we did start it with buying this one product, which I think cost us £15, something like that. It's about investing the actual time at the outset. It wasn't about putting any money into it. It was actually being able to put time to it. That is difficult to do when, you know, we had two young children at the time. That's a lot of your time absorbed. But, you know, if you're prepared to put the time in terms of looking at the product you're interested in, what the market is, how much it's selling for, how much you can buy it for, it isn't rocket science. You can just start it with 1, 2, 5, 10 items and progress from there.
Looking over at your website here, I have it opened on another screen, DaisyBabyShop.co.uk. I must say, It is very impressive. It's very clean. It's easy to navigate through. You get exactly a good overview from the very word go. It's very fresh would probably be another good word for describing it. Very fresh, very clean, not cluttered, but at the same time, you can see right away you've got new parent gift ideas. You've got different hampers. You've got a whole series of slings and wraps and bean bags and breastfeeding and new parents. It's really, really clean. And I'm quite sure it's not the first iteration of your website. I'm sure this is something now that you've thought out after a while. But I must say, sometimes finding that good e-commerce company to build your site can sometimes be a struggle.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for that feedback, Patrick. That's really nice of you to say that. When we first started, we used a generic off-the-shelf website. I can't remember which, something like one-to-one, something like that. I can't remember who it was. And when we got to the point when we had a little bit of money set aside, we did then go into partnership with a company who developed our first website. This is now the third version of our website, and we launched this particular version about 10 months ago. So it's developed from a very much off-the-shelf one-to-one now, which is bespoke for us. But yeah, you're right. It is, it is important to keep it fresh, to look at it every now and again to make sure that from the customer's point of view, it's easy to navigate. You can see the products, you can see the ethos behind it.
Mm-hmm. Well, at Selling Online Today, we always like to delve in a little bit more into some of the finer details that could help someone who may be starting on their journey or thinking about it. I'm just going to throw out a few quick questions to you, and feel free to answer the ones that come to mind right away. You have your website. It is beautiful. You do also sell on Amazon and eBay, am I right?
We do, that's right, yes. Yeah.
Is it all linked together?
We've only very recently installed a software package to link all of the levels of stock.
Yes.
So if we sell an item on eBay or we sell an item on Amazon or our website, it then removes one item from the other respective sites. That actually only went live 2 weeks ago. So prior to that, we were managing everything manually. And to be honest, it just got too much.
Yes.
And I wish I'd sort of put this system in place probably sort of a year, 18 months ago. But there's always things that you can do better or look back and say, I wish I'd done that at the time. But when we started, when you had one item or 10 items or 100 items, just doing it manually is easy and it's the cheapest way.
Yes, it's perfectly okay. But as they would say in the business world, the systems will create themselves with need. As I mentioned to you before, I also run a bricks and mortar women's shoe shop, and I also sell all the shoes online, on Amazon, on eBay, and on my website, all at the same time, all synchronized. And like yourself, very quickly you realize that, number one, you don't get two chances on eBay or Amazon. You can't mess up when it comes to stock management. You must deliver on your promise. That's how they've built their businesses. So very important to be coordinated. In the area of women's shoes, it's notoriously a little bit more difficult because of the fact that there are multi-variations of one product. So you probably find it in some of your products with size variations. So you have to make sure that if it does sell on one platform, it is removed from the other so that you don't oversell it sometimes.
Yeah, we have got in that situation a few times, certainly over the last sort of 8 to 10 months, purely because when you get to a certain level of different inventory items, it's difficult to manually do that. I say that's why on reflection I wish I'd done this probably 12 months ago. You're right, it's absolutely imperative to have one central tool that does that stock movement correctly across all of your channels.
Yes, and it is something that's built up over time. Now, which do you like best? I'll tell you which one I like best, but which do you like best? Amazon or eBay or your own website?
Well, obviously, I like my own website best. I wish that we were doing the sales on a website that we were doing on Amazon and eBay, but
yes.
In reality, they've got huge advertising power and have huge number of customers visiting their respective sites. So all three are important.
Yes, and that's a very diplomatic answer, may I say, Mike, and well done for that. But yes, absolutely. I think the key message here for our listeners is that you really can't discard any of the marketplaces, because the reality of the fact is there are so many millions of people that just shop on Amazon, and likewise some people just shop on eBay, and then there are others that just go on to Google and Google the item they're after and just shop on websites and feel very comfortable with that. Obviously, as a business owner, we're constantly trying to work out in our heads how to bring that customer over to our own platform so that we can continue to serve them in a more personalized way. Obviously, being very respectful of Amazon and eBay, but ultimately they own the customer and we're just playing football on their field. So we want to be able to also then market to them afterwards, and there are all sorts of ways of doing that. I'm sure you do it yourself, where you might include a little flyer or a special offer in your packages that are going out to bring them across to realise that, hey, you have everything on your own singing and dancing, all bells and whistles website, so feel confident to come ahead and shop at our own site.
That is exactly right. You know, as a lot of online sellers do, we try and attract people to our websites. You know, we do that through Google AdWords campaigns, through social media, Facebook, offers that we put to customers. You know, we want customers to register on our site so that we can give them offers that sometimes are just not available on Amazon or eBay.
Yes.
But, you know, all three platforms are very important to us.
Absolutely. One of the features that I love about my own site is the fact that something which I thought was totally out of my reach when I first delved into this area was the fact that if someone goes onto the website, orders a pair of shoes, leaves it sitting there, and then goes off to make a cup of tea or has to do something else and has left that in the basket, automatically after 2 hours, they'll get a little reminder email from me to say, hey, you've just popped that into your basket. You know, feel free to go back and finish that purchase. Then after 22 hours, they'll get another one. And then after 2 days, they get a final one to say, listen, you put that in the basket. Here's a little discount code just to help you finish that. And that's amazing. It's amazing to think that that technology is out there, and it's at the reach of all of us if we know to ask our developers to work on it. And it's really, really good. But listen, there are lots of great things. Your site looks the part. Do you do your own photography yourself, or do you outsource that?
We are in the process of doing more with our e-commerce company. We work with a company called ICO3, who are based in Plymouth, and they do all of our e-commerce. They do our website, they do our Google AdWords campaigns, and they've just started doing our own photography. Prior to that, we would either bring somebody in if we had a lot of new items, or we use the manufacturer's photography. But personally, I prefer to take our own photography. It gives your items sort of a bit of uniqueness. So,
yes.
You know, you can be competing against 10 other people who are selling exactly the same item. If you've got your own photography, you can take different angles, you can take different shots of the product, you can just make it stand out a bit more. So, yeah, we always strive where we can to take the photography ourselves. As I say, we have been bringing in a professional to do that, but now we're doing it more in-house.
Yes, and sometimes you'll find the bigger the brand, yes, they may have this well sorted out, but sometimes the smaller brands, or if you're getting your own product manufactured in different countries, sometimes the photography isn't great. So you like to know that that's really your shop window, so to speak.
Absolutely, yes, yeah.
Just delving into that area of customer service, do you find that key in your business?
Yeah, we've recently employed somebody just to look after our customer service side. You know, we got to the point when, you know, we weren't able to reply to emails as timely as I would want. So we have now employed somebody full-time, and her job is to reply to the emails when they come through. So we make sure we always reply within 24 hours, but try to reply a lot quicker than that. Certainly between sort of 9 o'clock and 5 o'clock, we would expect to get a reply back within a couple of hours.
Yes.
You know, that is something that is very important to us, and that person also is there on the end of the phone to answer any customer queries, and we will be proactive in contacting the customer if there's an issue with an item that they've ordered. You know, we will be on the phone to them. And that one frustration we have is so many people just put some spurious telephone number on their order. If they put the right number on the order, we could get many issues resolved.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't know if you find that, but...
Oh, we do. We not only do we find that, sometimes we find in the women's shoe business especially that we get an awful lot of returns because of obviously they got to try on the shoes, and if they don't fit, they're just popped in the box and sent back. Sometimes we're getting shoes sent back from the likes of Germany, and it's literally just the shoes. They haven't even included the invoice.
Absolutely right, yes.
So unfortunately, for the girls that help me in the shop on a day-to-day basis, they have to then, thankfully we keep a good log from our postal company, so we have to go back, try to work out when it was sent according to the postage stamps and different things, then work out what avenue it came in from. We obviously have a bit to go on, which is the actual shoe itself. So there's a whole reverse investigation process just to find out who the customer is. And we have to then contact them and say, hey, we received your shoes. There's no, oh my God, you didn't even tell us what you wanted to do. So, but you can't take there's no, as Felix Dennis, a famous English entrepreneur would say, there is no victory over customers. They are the ones in charge. So you just got to roll with it and realize that's part of business. It can be frustrating, but it's all part of it. Again, really, really interesting stuff here. And certainly this is the practical stuff that I enjoy seeing with and chatting about with the business owners can be such a help. I see that on your site, something which sometimes can scare some business owners. You're not afraid to put the reviews on. I've been flicking through some of the reviews of the products, and that's a very interesting concept. Do you like the idea of reviews? Do you find it helps your sales, or is it a detriment if somebody speaks badly about one product? How do you see that area?
Well, I think it's important that if you do reviews, that you allow both good and bad reviews to actually go up on the site. We don't vet the reviews that come through unless there's if it's opinionated, that's fine, it goes off. If it's factually incorrect, we don't. But that's very rare.
Yes.
Reviews is something we started about sort of 6 to 8 months ago. And I've been very pleased with the overall impact. It definitely has helped the credibility of the site. And also we're now being able to link in our reviews from our Amazon and eBay sales as well. So when a customer buys a product on Amazon or eBay, they can review that product. That review goes on our website as well.
I suppose it's some sort of automated process that when the person has received their goods, they might get an invitation to write a review a few days later. Would that be?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, we do email customers retrospectively and invite them to leave a review. I think, having more reviews just gives you that bit more credibility.
Yes.
At the end of the day, a website is that it is just a website. A business can be huge or can be very small and they still have the same frontage. Just gives a bit more credibility.
Yes. The world is very big. There's a lot of people out there. There are different problems which face online businesses than the traditional bricks and mortar business, as they say. But as we were chatting just before the show, you've spent some time and some resources into actually translating your products and joining even eBay's international programs.
Yeah.
That's very forward-thinking of you. How has that gone for you so far?
Yeah, it's gone very well. Certainly, when you translate a product into the local language, you sell more of it. There's no question about that. There are tools out there that you can use to get your products translated at a very reasonable price, and it's definitely worthwhile doing.
I noticed that on our own Amazon international listing tool, there is the possibility also for Amazon to actually translate those products. That in itself can be quite interesting. Some countries, I don't know if you find this, some countries, they may have more of your product listed anyway, so you'll just join up to their catalogue because of the fact that it's also a known product there, which definitely helps. But again, just the fact that the world literally is your oyster when you're selling online. You can reach so many places. Have you ever had any unexpected orders or that lovely fuzzy feeling you get on a Monday mornings becomes so different to perhaps when you worked in the world, Monday morning was like, oh, gotta get up, gotta start working. Whereas now you're getting up on a Monday, you're going into your office and all of a sudden there's a lot of orders waiting for you and sometimes they can be really encouraging. Have you ever had any unexpected or interesting orders?
We've had some really bizarre orders, both in terms of here in the UK and also abroad as well. I actually had to look a country up in the atlas only about 2 weeks ago. I didn't know where it was.
Wow.
A place called New Caledonia.
Wow.
It's an island off the eastern coast of Australia, sort of halfway between Australia and Fiji. And we actually had 2 orders from different people on the same day from this one country I'd never heard of before.
Amazing. That is just amazing.
Yeah, and we had a rep from a manufacturer that we deal with, and it was the day that she came in to us. We'd sold some of her products to Tahiti, which again was just a bit bizarre, really. But in the UK, we've had some strange orders as well, and I think probably the quirkiest order we had was from a prison in London.
Okay.
Who ordered baby lunch pods, which basically keep food warm. The idea is that you can put baby food in there and it stays warm when you're going out. And they actually ordered 400 of these for us for their prisoners for Ramadan.
Wow.
So, I'm beginning to get to the point where I'm not surprised, A, where people order from, but B, what they order and for what they use it for.
Yes, you're absolutely right. I worked with a business here locally and helping them with their e-commerce setup and whatnot. And I remember that one of their items was actually carpenter's pencils. And all of a sudden, these things had been lying around their hardware store for years and had just been trickling out whenever a joiner was coming in to buy a pencil for his job. And all of a sudden, we were selling boxes of them to primary schools. And I was like, yeah, of course. Children, teachers, of course, they would use big carpenter's pencils in certain schools. And all of a sudden, it was just like, wow. You don't really know what people will want things for, nor does it really matter. As long as they're buying them, you're happy.
Absolutely right, yeah. We've sold some baby stairgates to a nursing home and also to a dog grooming business.
Mm-hmm.
So it's I'm getting to the point now where I'm not sort of surprised what people buy.
We could continue this chat for such a long time, but I'm conscious of your time and of our listeners who may be just out walking the dog or in the gym and may have just that 30-minute session. So I'm just going to ask a few more questions before we wrap it up. Again, it would be really interesting to get you back again at some stage down the line just to see how things continue to develop. I am aware that you have also affiliate programs connected to your website, which is fascinating and much more detailed and very interesting when it comes to the point of our margins and getting the message out there to other areas. So again, that's all very, very interesting stuff. If you were to give any advice to someone starting off an online business, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say don't be afraid of trying something, buying 5 or 10 and selling them and see how they go. You don't have to have a huge amount of money. eBay and Amazon in particular are fantastic vehicles to actually get products out in front of people that doesn't really cost you anything at the outset.
Yes, and even it serves as a market intelligence test. Just test the market without too much initial investment.
Yep.
If you had a magic wand in your own business, what would you like it to do for you?
I would like everybody who has a baby in the UK, or 500,000 people every year, to know about DaisyBabyShop.co.uk. That's what I would like.
Well, that's definitely very good. Well, certainly our listeners now know about you, and we're directing them across to DaisyBabyShop.co.uk. They can find you there. I know you've got a Facebook page too. Do you remember offhand your Twitter address?
I don't, I'm afraid.
Don't worry. We'll drop that into the show notes later for people that want to just click on it from our own website. Mike, it has been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. I really appreciate it, as I'm sure our listeners do. And we wish you all the very best with Daisy Baby Shop.
Thank you very much, Patrick. It's been a pleasure as well.
No problem. We'll chat to you later.
the time right now to go to sellingonlinetoday.com and gain instant access to tons of free resources to help you in your online selling journey. We'll see you next time on Selling Online Today.